How would you assess Golden State's offseason so far?
Right now, I'm giving it a C minus, just because of the pivotal importance of some of the pieces that were gone or that they've lost. Juan Toscano Anderson being the least important. He didn't really get a lot of playing time in the playoffs. So, I mean, he was somebody that you can lose. I mean, he was a great bench player. He was good for depth purposes, but he wasn't somebody that was necessarily important to their direct rotation. Gary Payton II, however, one of their, if not their best defenders, uh, who emerged to be quite a spark plug off the bench with his athleticism, his development of his three-point shot, and then, of course, his versatility on the defensive end. Uh, he's gone, and he's gone to Portland. Otto Porter Jr., who was trying to revitalize his career, he ended up going to Toronto, somebody who was able to hit consistent shots throughout the postseason. Not somebody that's going to give you 15 or 20 points every given night, but when his number is called, he gets you some buckets, he gets you some good rebounding. He was a pretty solid defender. Again, more so for a depth purpose, more so to just kind of, be able to play a multitude of positions, especially when Golden State went small. But overall, three pieces that I feel like, two of the three were irreplaceable pieces. DiVincenzo gives you more of an athletic guard, not something that they really need right now. They needed that defensive anchor with Steph not being the best defender, Clay getting up there in age, Jordan Poole not being a great defender, and so on and so forth. So I agree with Kyle. The only reason I'm giving it a C is because they still have an opportunity to re-sign Andrew Wiggins. They still have an opportunity to go out there, re-sign Jordan Poole, in which I don't know if they're going to be able to do both. Kyle and I have already talked about this a multitude of times. They're going to have to make a decision on which one they do. If they're able to get both, great, because they didn't have to pay those other players that I just rattled off that left in free agency. But if Jordan Poole wants to go out there and seek a massive extension, seek a massive contract, if Andrew Wiggins is content with winning one championship and saying, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to go out here and go chase a bag one more time, since obviously he got that big extension in Minnesota a few years back. But I think Golden State needs to really, really pay attention, because if they were to lose, hypothetically, and Kyle and I have talked about this off the air, if they were to lose both Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins, I'm not saying their title hopes are 100% gone, but there is a massive gash in the possibility of repeating, because you lose 5 important players in a matter of one offseason. And then there were rumors supposedly that Kevin Durant was willing to accept a reunion back to Golden State, which would mean that they'd have to trade a lot of pieces that would include the likes of Jordan Poole and Kuminga and multiple picks to get him back, which would deplete their bench that much further. So Golden State has a lot to worry about. I would say that Golden State right now is a little bit more in panic mode than calm, because they need to make sure that they do re-sign those 2 players. Otherwise, it's going to be a really, really, really long season for them next year.